biscuits are made with real fruit and high fiber whole grains. So today's audience will take home a selection of Belvita breakfast biscuits and a grocery store gift card. We'll also draw for this breakfast in bed prize pack as well. You know, we've been throwing it out there to our viewers to talk to us a little bit about their unsung heroes. And I love when you guys get to weigh in on that person in the neighborhood or in your life that is making things better for people and no one's talking about them. So we've got an unsung hockey hero today. His name is Eddie Haddad. So already the head coach of his younger son's team, also became the head coach of his other son's team. But more than that, he is the person that gets a lot of these kids that are maybe struggling with certain aspects of their life and he brings them into their home. He's gone through all of his own issues. His wife has a health issue as well. Her name is Renee. But Eddie still is at every great game. He is there to coach the boys and to coach all of the other kids who need him. He's got a positive outlook. He's eager for the team to hit the ice and to support them in all ways. So let's give it up for Eddie Haddad. Thank you very much. That came in from Jan Kohler. There's always that guy in the neighborhood who's there doing everything, you know, like getting the kids to the games, even if they're not his kids, and I think it's great. So when it comes to those heroes, often those are our moms.
That's right.
I really did want to get to an important lesson that you learned from your mom. It was the last lesson on your list because you came up with 5.
Yeah.
And I think it is so crucial. Tell us about it.
So my mom, because the lesson is to live on one salary.
Live on one salary. If you're in a 2-income home.
If you're in a 2-income home, correct. So when my mom and dad got married, my mom was a teacher, my dad was a pastor. Teachers make more than pastors.
Right.
My mom being very value driven, she said, Grant, at some point I'm going to want to be at home, stay-at-home mom. So why don't we save my salary, which is the teaching salary.
Yes.
Live on your salary so we get used to how that feels.
Yeah.
And then when the kids come, when we have kids, we can drop it and now we've got a chunk of savings. So that's how she did it. So when Brent and I got married, she said, why don't you do something similar? I'm like, Mom, that's so unrealistic. This is our thinking, right?
Yeah.
It's not realistic. She's like, Karen, if there's a will, there's a way. You just got to think really outside the box. So when Brent and I got married, he was a full-time student. I had just started to make my business. I'm making $30,000 a year. How on earth am I going to live on one salary in Toronto? My mom, thinking outside the box, she says, why don't you buy a triplex? Live in one of the apartments, get rent from the other apartments, and then that's what we did. So we lived in Toronto, rent-free for 8 years.
Oh, smart.
Living on $30,000 a year.
You know what I like about this, though? If you have those kind of parameters, you're actually not concerned about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes.
Because you have your own.
Yes, there's no Joneses. There is no Jones.
We're, you know, living on $30,000 a year. We are a family, so we are actually just super laser focused on what our goals are.
Yes.
And I think that, you know, a lot of us get caught up in the stuff, getting the stuff, and piling up the stuff, and it's not really about that. It's about having more of a long-term goal. I think it's great advice.
It's a long-term goal, and our goal was to get rid of all of the debt. Let's get rid of all the debt. I remember when I started making more, we had friends, and they were out buying these huge houses. They're like, well, you can afford more. Why? No, the goal is to get rid of the debt and to stay focused on living on one salary, and we have done that for almost 15 years.
I want to get rid of the debt.
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, it gets you to kind of think really outside the box, and I'm telling you, that one piece of advice, oh my goodness, has it made a difference.
It's really, really taking you through life. So I don't know if we've got time to get to this last question. Do you want to talk more about mom's advice, or you want to try and handle this question in a minute?
Oh, I can handle this in a real minute.
This is a good one, all right? This is a Dear Dr. Karyn Gordon question that came in. This viewer has guests visiting from out of town. They're close friends of my husband's. They're staying with us for 2 weeks. I am dreading it. I am dreading this visit. I find that they want us to cater to them. So what do I do to be hospitable and be okay with this?
Great question. I love this question because we actually have a cottage, and so when we have friends up, I've learned how to do this. You basically, you know, so excited you're here, awesome. You know, the way we kind of do it is kind of like a teamwork. Here are the meals. Tell me with what meals you actually want to sign up. I assign meals.
Okay.
And then that way, so instead of me cooking all the meals, I'll do breakfast and dinner. You can do lunch, and all of a sudden it kind of empowers them, and I find it really makes a difference. It's like a team. So you have to communicate it, but you've got to put it in like that kind of package.
It empowers them, but it lets them know, by the way, you're cooking.
Yes. FYI.
Yeah, FYI, you're cooking. All right. Good advice. Thanks. Thanks for watching City Line. Have a great day.